The bar's lights were too warm, the polished surfaces too eager to catch every glint and shadow. Ethan Moore felt like he was under a spotlight, every chrome rim and mirrored wall conspiring to highlight his unease. He adjusted his collar, hoping to calm the frantic pulse beneath it, but his hands betrayed him with a faint tremor. He'd chosen a quiet booth in the corner, a spot that promised a sliver of calm. His drink, plain soda, no ice, sat untouched, the glass slick with condensation. He nudged it slightly, then back, the small ritual grounding him like a silent chant. His phone vibrated, a text from his friend Mia glowing on the screen. "You're fine, it's just a guy, not a dragon." Ethan's lips quirked in a half smile. Another message followed. "Also, you're charming, don't forget that." His fingers hovered over the keyboard, unsteady. "My hands are shaking so much the soda's nervous." Mia's reply was instant. "Sip it. It's just bubbles, not a life crisis." Ethan lifted the glass, hesitated, then set it down. "I'm a regular person on a regular date," he muttered to the fizzing surface as if it could agree. Totally normal. The word normal felt worn, like a coin rubbed smooth. He knew how others saw him. Gentle features, hazel eyes that sometimes seemed too wide, too open. His dark hair refused to behave, no matter how much he tried to tame it. He'd mastered folding his shirts neatly, but still tripped over loose laces. He kept his head low, his work precise. What he hadn't mastered was walking into a place like he owned it, like he belonged. He glanced at his phone, 7 minutes early. Too soon to bolt, though the urge tugged at him. At 26, he edited manuscripts for a small press. He could handle a setup date, courtesy of Mia's relentless matchmaking. "Setup date," he whispered, the glass catching his breath in a faint mist, not completely blind. Mia had offered a name and a few details, Lucas. Tall, warm-hearted, Ethan had pressed for a picture. Mia, ever the romantic, had waved him off. "You'll spot him. Trust me." He tried to imagine Lucas. Tall suggested someone imposing. Warm-hearted conjured images of kindly teachers or pets in quirky sweaters. Ethan traced a finger through the wet ring on the table, smearing it into a faint arc. "Should have insisted on a photo," he told the soda. It stayed silent. The bar hummed with weekend energy, clinking glasses, soft electronic music, people ordering elaborate cocktails with practiced nonchalance. Ethan tried to sync his breathing with the rhythm, relax his shoulders, not melt into a puddle of nerves. He brought a napkin just in case, though he swore he wouldn't need it. He took a sip. The soda was sharp, a fleeting taste of citrus. The door swung open, letting in a cool draft. The room's chatter dipped, a subtle shift like a missed note. Ethan didn't look up right away. He was too busy loosening his grip on the glass, counting inhales. In, hold out, promising himself he'd stay put. Then he caught a voice near the entrance, friendly but private. "He's over there." Another voice, softer, richer. Of course he'd have that look. Ethan glanced up. The man who stepped in was tall enough to draw eyes, his frame filling a tailored navy jacket that carried the night's chill. His dark hair, neatly combed, gleamed under the bar's amber glow. His eyes, green, vivid, like something from a painting, met Ethan's from across the room. His smile was slight, warm, not sharp. People glanced at him like he was a rare, fleeting sight, something to linger on. This was Lucas. Not a vague idea from Mia's texts, but real, polished, like he belonged in a sleek office or a movie's closing scene. Ethan's thoughts wobbled off balance. The host checked a tablet. "Lucas," the man nodded, his gaze finding Ethan again. Not startled, but certain. "There you are." Ethan's stomach flipped. "You're just a guy." He's just a guy, he told himself, heart racing. This isn't a test. Lucas approached, his walk steady but unhurried. Up close, he was more striking, his eyes curious, not cold. A faint scar nicked his brow, a small flaw that made him real. His tie was neatly knotted, his cuff simple, nothing ostentatious. His voice was warm, like someone who found joy easily, who knew the best coffee spots without trying. Ethan stood, his chair scraping softly. "Hi," it slipped out too soft, almost a question. He tried again. "Hey." Lucas's smile widened, gentle, amused. "I'm Lucas, nice to meet you." Offered a hand. Ethan hesitated, wiped his palm on his jeans and shook it. Lucas's grip was steady, warm, with a faint hint of cologne, clean like lime and wood. They sat. Lucas slipped off his jacket, his shirt hinting at a lean build, and Ethan nearly forgot how to breathe. The waiter appeared. "Gin and tonic," Lucas said, easy, confident. Ethan froze. "Soda's fine," he said, like it was a personality trait. The waiter left. Lucas leaned forward slightly, hands relaxed on the table. "Thanks for coming out. Mia says great things about you." Ethan's mouth twitched. "Mia thinks paper napkins are high art." The words tumbled out before he could stop them, and he winced, wishing he could rewind. "I mean, she's nice. Too nice."